This is Sherry Joy Collier, and I am coming to you live from my studio in East Tennessee. So this is our usual 2 o'clock on Wednesday. I changed the time. 2 o'clock was really getting difficult for me, so I have changed the time for our art journaling to 11 a.m. Eastern time on Wednesdays. And now I'm gonna go over here and find the live so that I can pull it up. There it is. Okay, let me get everything situated. Hello, Tanya. Good morning, Tammy. Oh, it's so good to see you guys here. So yes, as I was saying, I just wanted to make you aware that Wednesdays at 11 a.m. will be the new time, and the format's going to be a little bit different. I realized as I had been doing these art journaling episodes that I was kind of getting into more and more planning and preparing and trying to think it through. And I was getting away from the spirit of it for me, which the spirit of art journaling is all about being expressive and spontaneous and yes, incorporating scriptures and thinking on things that have been bugging us emotionally and using the art journal to express that. And so I thought, okay, let's just kind of take a pause and kind of go back to my roots, I've been a marriage and family therapist licensed in California for a very long time. And my specialty was expressive arts therapy. And one thing that I really, really loved about expressive arts therapy was the playfulness. It just invites you into this very playful space. And in my office, I wish you all could have come and played in my office, because I had miniature toys, shelves and shelves of miniature toys that you could arrange in sand tray. And I had every kind of art supply you could possibly imagine. I had a nice big table where quite often it was children that I would pull all the art supplies out, but I did that with adults too. And they would pick and choose like what appealed to them in the moment, what was going to help them express what was going on. So today I'm trying to kind of get back to my roots a little bit. And in so doing, I began to just collect little ideas and tidbits. So I want to show you that first. So let's call this, I'm going to call today's video Play and Create. Play and Create. So I want to show you, first of all, in the mail, I got a little piece of art that I ordered. Yes, I order other people's artwork sometimes. And in the mail came this cardboard piece that was there to keep the art from bending. And I just received this yesterday. And as I took this piece of cardboard out, all of a sudden, all these ideas started flooding in. And I thought, you know, if I could just do something just fun with this cardboard, it would take away all the pressure of, oh, I gotta think of something, and I gotta be like prepared, and I have to have everything perfectly figured out. And I'm like, nope, let's just take this crazy little, it's not even cut out properly, piece of cardboard, and let's just let it kind of, let it inspire and pull on other things. So then my day goes on yesterday, and other things were kind of coming into my brain. And then this morning, I'm like, you know, I kind of want to take found items and pull them together. This is a found object. I just found it. It wasn't something I went out and bought. And then I've got all these little things I want to show you. These are little scraps that I ripped up to make my quilted angels back in the day when I was making a lot of quilted angels. So I have tons of these little scraps ripped up. And then I also received a card from one of my sisters, and I really like the leaf shapes and the strawberries on it. And I thought, maybe I'll use this card for something. Maybe I'll cut the leaves out. And then I kind of started thinking, okay, maybe I want a Mod Podge, and kind of one idea led to the other. And then this morning I was sitting at my dining room table looking out the window, and I have the most incredible birds here. All shapes, colors, sizes, and they are very active, shall we say, to the point where I may have to go put a net over my seeds that I just planted because they're very active. So I did a very simple line drawing. I did this on ChatGPT, and ChatGPT is free, and you just ask it, give me a simple line drawing of a bird. That's what I did, and here it is. And I'm not sure, I wasn't really sure what I was going to do with it just yet, but then kind of ideas started coming all together, and I think I have a direction that I want to go. But you may have found objects that are completely different from me. In fact, I'm going to give you some fun homework. Go out into your little world, whether it's outside, inside, from your mailbox, wherever, and just start collecting little tidbits that just, I don't know, make you feel like, that's kind of cool. And just pull them all together, let them sit there, and then let your brain just kind of start playing with them. And let's see what happens. And then if you make a little something, I'd love to see a picture of it. I really would. I'd love to see your work. So I'm going to turn the camera around now, and we're going to hope that this goes well so that you can see what I'm going to do with all these little found objects. Okay, so here we go. First of all, before I put it up there, I'm going to show you all these little scraps of paper just everywhere. I even pulled out this stencil just in case. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not. And I already took the liberty, like 10 minutes before I came live, to paint the cardboard white. And the reason for that is because I knew it would take a while to dry. So, but this all came together in my mind this morning. Okay, so I need to move this. Well, let's not. Let's actually scoot the cardboard over just a little bit. Hopefully you can see that okay. Good morning, Sherry. Glad to see you're here too. Okay, so I want to start by showing you just some things. So years and years ago, these are old, I had gone to Michael's and I had purchased these little paper pads. And this one's called My Mind's Eye, and it was all these different wood patterns. And it just kind of captured my attention this morning, and I thought maybe I'll do something with the wood patterns kind of down here somewhere. But anyway, that's one pad of paper. This is the other one, and it has some gold dots that are catching my attention. It has some of this brown stuff that I may actually use on the bird. But I am going to put the bird, and look at all these beautiful papers. These are papers I was using to make my quilted angels back in the day. Let's show you these. I like, whoops, nope, where'd it go? There's some big gold dots. Look at these big, beautiful, and gold stripes too. So I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but I have them hanging out here. I have my scissors hanging out here. And I thought what I would do is I'm going to go ahead and start. I'm just going to trace this little bird right on here. So hopefully I've got tracing paper nearby. Okay, how's everyone doing this week? I know we're Wednesday, halfway through the week. Okay, let's go ahead and put our tracing paper down. All right. And I'm doing great because I'm going back to this type of mixed media art as just a playful thing. And, you know, I was realizing, and I've heard other artists talk about this too, I was realizing that I had kind of gotten into this pattern of, I was doing several commissioned pieces, and I came out with a spring collection of florals on my website, And I was doing so much artwork for my website and to sell, that I was kind of getting into that mode of, oh, I have to make it look good. I have to make it look acceptable. And I just felt the perfection, the icky, toxic, perfectionistic attitude setting in, and I felt my playfulness kind of leaving me. And I'm like, oh, this is not good. And so when I had this cardboard come in the mail and I started getting all these ideas for it, I just started having so much fun again. And I thought, okay, it really is true. I've heard many art coaches and other people talk about this, that you have to take time aside to just play and make art that you're not going to sell, and just give yourself that freedom of being childlike, like a kid again. So that is what today is all about. So you can see I have the little bird traced right on here, and my whole thinking has kind of gone to, I want to make this little bird, I want to collage some of this little bird. And I'm just going to start cutting things kind of in shapes. Let's see here. And this shape, I kind of am liking these polka dots. So I'm just going to cut this down even a little bit more. And let's see here. I'm going to give it more of a curve. And I'm going to put that right there. Now, I'm not going to Mod Podge it down just yet. And by the way, I grabbed my Mod Podge. I'm just going to kind of start laying some shapes out here. And I want some beautiful reds. So let's see if we can't cut some stripes that are curved of these reds. And I'm just going to kind of come in and see what might that look like. That's kind of cool. Maybe he's going to have a little red strip right there. I am going to just trim this down just a little bit right here. All right, so he's got like a little part, the first part of the wing right there. And then let's see what other colors. I'm really liking some of these colors are leaping out at me. I've got these beautiful flowers. I'm not going to use that one though. Let's see what else I've got. These polka dots here. I think I kind of am leaning towards doing some stripes with this turquoise next. So I'm going to pull in some little bit of turquoise here. And let's lay this right there. And that's kind of cool. I kind of like how that looks. And maybe we'll even take this one and make a little curved area. And just having myself a ball cutting this out. And it's okay if it overlaps. It's okay with me anyway. And I just kind of want to start to get some things down on this bird. So let's start with that. All right. So I've got my Mod Podge. I've got my plate. All righty, let's see here. We'll get a little bit of Mod Podge on my plate. And I've got this very cheap foam, what is it? It's a foam sponge brush, I guess. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put some Mod Podge right here. We're gonna lay this strip down first, and I'm gonna cover it up. Little Mod Podge. I'm just gonna go ahead and pull that up onto the wing. And then let's put our next strip right here. And then we'll put our next strip. I think, did I have, no, I had it this way. And it's okay if it's overlapping things a little bit. Okay, now let's put this strip. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so let's get that all covered over. And now we'll go and I guess I'll move fast enough that that won't dry too much, but I'm gonna go into my other pad here, and I'm gonna grab some of these small, well, let's see. No, see, I'm thinking out loud here with you all. What do I want? Do I want some stripes? Do I want some polka dots next? I think, you know what I want? I want to get, first, I want to get strips of his tail. Let's make that tail, okay? So, I'm going to come in and I'm going to trim off this edge. And I want lots of brown to show up. So let's start here and let's cut. Okay, I'm just going to cut a strip for the tail. And we're going to just play with this and see how that does. Okay. Yeah, that'll be fine. I am going to round that off just a wee little bit. Okay. And let's round that edge off too. Okay. Let's get some Mod Podge on here, and let's lay that piece over for his tail. All right, let's get that down. Okay, now I want to move these little bits off so they don't get stuck in the Mod Podge. And I'm definitely feeling like I want some gold dots somewhere, those little gold dots. So let's get into our small gold dotted paper. And I'm just gonna cut, I'm gonna cut some where the dots are kind of prominent. And I'm gonna put some, I really want the dots to show up right in that little area there. So I'm actually gonna cut right along those 3 dots, and I'm just gonna pull that right in. Okay, so I'm just kind of trying to get some shapes that seem like they will work, and I'm gonna round that, and I kind of am liking that. Yep, I am liking that. I'm gonna put that right there. All right, so he's got his little cute gold dots right there now. Now let's see, what do I think I want more dots. Let's go for some more dots. I'm gonna pull a little curved, let's pull a curved shape here. And let's end it though under the beak. So I'm just kind of guesstimating like how to cut this. And I'm just gonna let it kind of happen and not worry about it fitting too perfectly. But yeah, that's beautiful. I like that. I like how that fits actually right there. Okay, now there's this cute little beak, and I do have some colors that would be very nice for the beak. I think I could either go with this color, or I could cut out this rose kind of in the shape of a beak. I think I'll just use this one because it's already kind of like a beak. See that? So we'll just kind of give it a nice little trim. And I'll pretend like I know what shape his beak is. I do know, but it's hard to tell. All right, let's round that off just a little bit. Let's see how I'm liking that for the beak. Yeah, I like that. So there's his beak. So we'll throw the beak up on there. Let's pull it back a little bit. Okay, there. So there's our beak. Okay, next, for the top of his head, kind of wanting something darker brown to match the belly. Let's see what I have already cut out. I don't really have, do I want the polka dots up there? No, I don't want the polka dots up there. I think I'm gonna go in and find some brownish. You know what? Maybe not brown. What about that? What about putting that on his little head? I don't know. Nope, I'm not feeling it. And so I'm just really allowing myself to feel it. And if I don't feel it, I'm putting it away. I think what I'm feeling is I want to give his head, ooh, I like that. I like that. I think I'm going to give his sweet little head some wood. Some wood. Okay, so I'm going to cut out just a little strip to work with, and then I'm going to see, how do I do that? Let's put this down here and just see if we can't mimic the curve. Okay, there. I've got a little pencil line that I can't even see anymore. That will help me kind of get that curve. And I'm really gonna trim that down. And let's see. I want to trim this quite a bit. And let's put that little strip right there and see how I like that. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna go for it. I'm going for it. And I'm gonna cut another piece and put it down there. So first, let's get this piece in. And then his little eye is right there. I don't want to cover his eye. I'm going to take more of this wood pattern paper, and I'm going to kind of just cut some shapes that I'll just start fitting some little shapes in there, and we'll see what happens. I'm going to go ahead and cover the eye. I can come back in with paint and put that eye in. So I'm just going to cover that right up. Okay, let's get our Mod Podge covered over there. There we go. And then let's do a little tiny bit of round paper for the front of his head. And we'll pull that right down towards the beak. But I'm going to snip that off right there. Snip. And there he has his little head. And we'll put some more Mod Podge on there. And then I'm gonna leave that little bit right there to dry, and I'm not gonna put anything on it. I'll come back in later with paint and like paint maybe some gold for his chest or something like that. Okay, so now I have this whole fun surface to play with. And I want to get some leaves on here from my card. So let's see here. I'm going to cut these leaves out. And we'll get this little leaf cut out here. Let's just cut this whole thing out. It'll make it a little bit easier for me to get my scissors around. So I'm just going to cut out these leaves. There's one leaf. I really like this leaf right here. Here's another leaf. I'll round that out a little bit. So I'll probably plunk these leaves in somewhere. And why not have a few strawberries? Well, at least one, maybe two. Let's have 2 strawberries. Okay, so strawberry number 1. Let's get another strawberry in here. And as I'm doing this, it's just taking me back to just a more childlike, playful approach where I'm not worried about painting techniques. Oh, there's so many painting techniques to remember all the time when you're painting with acrylics and oils and watercolors, all of them, that it's just so refreshing to just do this. Okay, so now what I'm thinking is I'm gonna get this dry surface, and I'm going, well, no, I know. Let's get our little base for him. And I really wanted to have him on some wood. So we're gonna get some different color of wood here. And I wanna get a wood that's kind of a light tone. And that might be the winner. That's kind of a pretty, I like that. Let's go with this one. Okay, I'm just gonna rip that whole page right out. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna grab this one. And let's do, he's so cute. Thanks, Tanya. I hope you guys are gonna do this. Like, just go have yourself a ball collecting your items and playing with your items. And then I really, really want to see what you come up with. That was the favorite thing when I would have expressive arts therapy workshops or retreats. My favorite thing in the whole wide world was to see all the different things that people had come up with. I'm going to cut this one a little skinnier. Let's cut this side. I want to leave that dark edge there. I just like it. Okay, so let's see. I kind of am liking that. I kind of want to pull it way up, and I'll have to paint his foot down a little bit. Let's flip this so that the lighter part is on the top, and then over here, I don't like that. Well, I'm being picky. Let's not be picky, Sherry. All right, stop being picky, just get it on there. I just keep thinking in my brain, I want it to match the wood grain, but it doesn't need to match the wood grain. That's silly. That's just silly. I'm having fun. I don't have to match anything. See how I have to talk myself out of trying to do things that make sense, that are rule-oriented? Does anybody else have that issue? Okay, so let's get our Mod Podge on here. Just gonna go straight on top. Okay, let's get that down. This is gonna just be such a fun labor of love. I want to get more Mod Podge down here. Okay. Such a little labor of love. Okay, there, we've got our wood glued on. Now, I think I will put my leaves on now. What did I do with them? Okay, so first of all, we're going to put our strawberries, like right there. And we're going to put one strawberry there and one strawberry there. And they're just kind of resting on the wood surface. And I'm really covering those up with Mod Podge, try to get them down. In fact, I need more Mod Podge under here, I think. Yeah. Okay, there, that's better. And I'm just gonna really push those down. Okay. And then I'm gonna use my fingers. I've got glue all over my fingers now. All right, I need to rinse my fingers a little bit. The water. I've got a little cup of water over here in an attempt to de-glue my fingers. Okay, now let's see what I want to do next. I would like to get a little paint going. Oh wait, I forgot my leaves. Where do I want my leaves? I might want them over there, but I want to get some paint down first. So let's put this in the water, okay, and let's open up. I have this beautiful, look at this gorgeous blue-green, brand new Nova color. So I'm gonna move this for just a minute, just so I don't spill paint on anything I don't want it on, and I'm just gonna open this. This is a brand new one. Hopefully I can open it. Okay, let's see. There we go, I found a, oh goodness, I just got blue paint everywhere. All right, I'm gonna throw that out. And let's get our little handy dandy paper towel and attempt to get some of that off. Let's get my fingers wet in my cup. I am just making a beautiful little mess this morning. All right, so I don't even need to leave the lid off. I've got plenty of paint just from the lid. And now let's grab our little bird. And I'm just kind of wanting to stick some blue, or this color. I just kind of want to put it around. And I'm just going to have fun with it. Just going to do kind of some crazy brush strokes. Let's get out my white, because that's really dark in some spots. So I'm going to get out my white paint, and I'm going to come in and just bring in some crazy brush strokes of white over the top of that. Just because it was feeling like too bright. And I'm going to pull some of that mixture of the white and the blue-green down here in a few spots. Just let it come right down near that bird. The Mod Podge is still a little wet, so I may not be able to do exactly what I want to do, because the Mod Podge is very wet right there. I want just a little bit more white. I'm just going to see if I can get it to come straight onto the cardboard. Okay, so I'm going to pull a little bit of that in down here around him. And let's put more white on the plate. In fact, I better just load up with white. Okay, let's get some good white going here. Come right up under his little beak. And I'll pull that around. In fact, you know, that's okay that that blue ended up on that paper. Okay, I'm going to leave that, I think, right there. Okay, there's our paint. There's a part of me that really wants to do something with this stencil. So let's pull in. I'm going to just grab that blue-green, and I'm just going to kind of see what I can do with this. So I'm just going to kind of pop in some of this stencil and just see what happens. All right, that's good for that. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and put my leaves in. I kind of want them to be like this. And then I'm going to probably paint some more leaves. So I'm going to grab my Mod Podge and let's get these leaves loaded up on the back. And I'm just going to kind of have them hanging out up here. And I'm just going to take my finger and do this because my little brush is all wet. Okay, so I've got those covered over pretty good. My little foam brush is soaking in the water here, and it would be kind of difficult without a sink to rinse it out properly. So I'm probably going to have to finish this off the air because it is getting messy, and there's certain things that I have in my head that I want to do. But before I go, let's pull in a little bit of this brown. Goodness sakes, none of my Novas have been opened yet. So I'm going to go with this champagne. And the champagne is what I'm just going to go ahead and use for some quick little leaves. And I'm going to grab a flat brush. And I'm just going to pull more leaves in here. And if I want to make it brown and green later or what have you, I can. But for now, I'm just going to have the gold be my leaves. Let's pull a little one right over here. Let's pull one up here. So I'm just kind of filling in some leaves every which way. We'll pull one here. And maybe I'll pull kind of this idea of some stems. All right, so we've got a little idea of some stems coming in here. And I'm gonna darken these up later because this gold paint is super transparent. So I'll probably actually come in here with more gold and just layer over more and more gold because I like that. I like that gold color. In fact, for his chest, right there, I kind of like that gold color. So again, I may come back and put more layers of that in. While I'm here, I'm just going to give the idea of his little feet in the gold just to kind of give my brain a place where I know that gold is going to, that I'm going to come back in and put some brown. And then when this is fully dry, I want to come in with my gold marker and outline him. Let's go ahead and put some gold for his eye. And we'll just do a little stripe down his beak. Little gold under his chin, if birds have chins. And I may even just stripe some gold right along here. So I could just go on and on for hours and just play with this. But for sake of our time, I will not go for hours and hours. I will just pause here and you can kind of see the direction that it's going. I may do a few more things to it, but not that much. I do have to get my supplies. I have to get new water and I have to get my hands cleaned and stuff like that. And I may even come in here, I may cut out words or I may just write words. But one of the things I was thinking was never give up. I might write never give up. Or I may find some other phrase that strikes me more and write that in. So that's just a start of the playful, creatively inspired stuff that I'm hoping to inspire you with too. So I want you to have a very blessed and wonderful day, and I will show you the finished product in a photo in the group, the Creators Creatives Art Studio. And that is where this is found. This whole video, just FYI, is the Creators Creatives Art Studio. Okay, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Take care.